Welcome back. It's time for our very first big report this morning here for Breakfast Extra. My name is Hill, co-host in Amasu. Now in Benue State, Abande village has joined a growing list of communities where violence arrived faster than help. After days of deadly attacks that left scores killed and families displaced, police say some personnel have now been deployed. But for residents, the question remains, is this protection or is it another tale or rather late response to an old pattern? To understand what happened and what has changed since the deployment, our correspondent went into the affected communities, spoke with survivors, local leaders, and also security sources, and tracked the response on the ground. We're expecting a special report from Sagir Ibrahim on that.
As you can see, bikes are moving at the moment and the convoy has stopped. The destination is Abande, the community that was attacked on the 3rd of February. The reason why we're here right now is because, well, the officer just said that we are moving, but the reason why we had to stop is because we heard a gunshot from here, 2 gunshots actually, and 2 others from the other side just behind my cameraman. Now, the thing is, we had to do some clearance. The officers had to do some clearance. If you move with me this way, you would see that officers are positioned right here at the moment, just trying to make sure that everywhere is safe and clear before we can proceed to the community. Just some precaution before we move and continue our trip to this area. The armored personnel carrier that was following us initially has moved ahead of us to ensure that these areas and the terrain is cleared before we proceed with the journey. That's the update for the moment, and we hope that we'll get to Abande community and of course get these items, much needed items, and also security support delivered to the area as soon as possible. We're now in Abande community, and as you can see, well, security reinforcements is now here. It's safe to say that residents of this community would be able to sleep a little bit more peacefully tonight without a bit of concerns over the activities of the armed bandits, which is very real, by the way. On our way here, we had mentioned a scenario where we had to stop to sweep the environment because of some of the activities that residents of the communities before this area had spoken to us. They had said that before we arrived at that vicinity, about 2 gunshots in 2 different areas were heard, and as a result of that, we had to sweep those vicinities before we came to this very point. But for right now, as you can see around me, police officers are currently here in the location. The expectation is that they're going to be here and they will remain here so as to forestall any other attacks against this community. But the sad thing, sadly, is on February the 3rd, the sad attack happened here. There were casualties during that attack, and I will be speaking with some of them right now. For now, I would want to speak with the youth leader, Mr. Simon. Mr. Simon, if you would please come forward so we could hear some details from Mr. Simon, who is the youth leader of Abande community here in Abande. Tell us what happened on the 3rd of February.
Okay, sir.
Face
Okay, sir.
Yes.
It was on market day, being around 1 o'clock. The Fulanis they came road from Cameroon side, then came and entered Abande on hot afternoon, which was on market day. So they killed a lot of people. The people that we discovered, they are 17 in number. So the people that lost, they are inside bush that we will never discover. They are 10 in number. So in fact, they spoiled a lot of store. I cannot mention because the store were plenty. The store within within the road, they are plenty. They spoil everything. They spoil things like in the shop. They carry a lot of money, and some they are in hospital. So those ones that run and wound themselves. That is the incident happened that on market day in Abande market.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So how does it feel seeing security policemen right now?
So now I saw the security there in Abande, plenty. I saw Mopo with other security. So now I know there's a solution the government is finding for us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Simon. Yes, so now we'll speak to another person. Sadly, this person secured injuries during the attack. As a matter of fact, Pastor Tesu is here. You can see that his arm is still bandaged and he's still recovering. Can you walk us through what you experienced on the 3rd of February?
Yes, sir. It was on the market day when we were here. All of a sudden, the bandits just arrived, shooting sporadically, and then everybody was trying to escape. It was during that process that I was trying to rescue my life. Then I had this injury.
Okay. Since that time until now, what have you gotten in terms of support from the authorities?
The government of Benue State is trying a lot. The local government, our local government chairman came the first day. The following day he came, arrived here in the morning, and the security personnel are here. Now, as we were feeling before now, there is a little bit peace, and I can see today the security personnel are coming more and more to secure us. So we are trusting God that the government too is working tirelessly to make sure that there is peace. Peace is restored in Abande here.
Finally, what would you say about the recent? Is this the first time there's been an attack such as this? Tell us about previous.
Okay, we have been experiencing this for the past 14 years. This is the 15 years. I cannot tell the number of people that we lost, but this recent one we lost about 17 people. Yesterday we buried 2 because there was no way we can take them to the mortuary. My in-law was buried yesterday as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr.
Welcome.
Yes, that's testimony from Pastor Tese. Pastor Tese, thank you so much. You can go and get some rest. Pastor Tese has narrated his experiences to us. We also have Mr. Fabian. Mr. Fabian is indeed also a youth leader within this community. He is from here, and he also will be telling us about updates and situation. Currently, he is a special assistant to the honorable member representing the Kwande axis among several other local governments. So he will be speaking to us with regards to the efforts that the government as well as the representative of this area, have made since the attack. Can you bring us up to speed? What were first steps taken by your principal when they heard about this event?
Okay, this particular attack of February 3rd is one attack out of many. Before now, my principal, Honorable Tese Ugbo, has been up to speed with the issue regarding the issue of insecurity in this particular region. He, over the time, has donated motorcycles to the local vigilantes. He has donated kits to the security personnel that have been stationed here. And this particular attack the notice was sent to the community two to 3 days before the attackers came, that they were going to attack this community, and we raised alarm, and we didn't receive any serious attention from any quarter from anybody. Honorable Tese Ugbo has been raising alarm over this issue. This particular attack was one of the issues that has really exposed the level of volatile area or volatile situation of this area. And I don't know, but as we speak, it has happened, and the government has responded. As you can see from the background, the security personnel that have been sent from the state government to man the environment so that our people can also return home and feel safe at home. So we are also calling on the government, the federal, both federal, state and local government, to increase more security, because what we have on ground is not enough, because these people usually come in numbers, in thousands, and our local security and the ones that have been posted are not enough. So we are pleading that if the government can increase more effort in beefing more security in this area, so that our people can have that confidence and stay in the ancestral land. It's a systematic way of grabbing our land, and we cannot allow our land to be taken by the bandits. We are pleading with the government should protect us, because it will get to a stage, because we are asking the government to allow us to carry arms to protect ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's Mr. Fabian there speaking so passionately about the situation. Thank you so much, Mr. Fabian. Well, I give you some other updates that are going on around my vicinity. There's another police truck, 2 others, in fact, let's make it 3, that's positioned here right now. But also you would notice that there's some activity going on here. That's because the Deputy Commissioner of Police from the Benue State Police Command, who was deployed here, led the police officers to this point, is currently meeting with the leadership of the Abande community right now. So the expectation is that he would give them a brief of what the development is. Officers and men of the Nigerian police force will then remain here to man the areas and the fringes of this community to ensure that such attacks don't happen anymore. I really would have loved to speak with him here on camera, but unfortunately we would not be able to do so because of the meeting that's going on in right now. But subsequently, we will be bringing you his submissions and, so, of course, his brief as to what the plan is for these police officers as they prepare to man these areas going forward. It's back to you.
I want to confirm that there was an incident of arms ADAS attack. Then we have some deployment here already that we deployed about two years ago, and they responded swiftly. If not, the casualty will have been much. And as been recorded, we lost one of our officers that led the operation here. Because of the terrain, I was directed by the Commissioner of Police to quickly reinforce the deployment here. And I want to assure the group of people of Abande that their lives and property will be adequately secured.
This place is so vast, the terrain. Before you can move from Jatuaka there to where the incident took place, it will take you no less than 3 hours, as you can see the nature of the road. We deploy security, some at Anyase, some at Boagundu, and some are there. And you know, when these people are coming, they come in numbers and divide themselves. Sometimes some will be hiding somewhere, other group will start the attack before you can run to where the attack is to repair. The other group will rise up. The issue of insecurity in Benue State is beyond social media, as they are writing a lot of things on air. They should come together. If they have any way they can contribute, most of them, they don't even assess where the incident took place. They go on giving numbers, 20 people, 30 people are killed. This is not a good instant that you'll be increasing the number. What will you benefit?
Sagir, Ibrahim, as well as Sekpet Michael join us for this conversation. But before we get into that, let's go on a very quick break. Do stay with us right here on Breakfast Extra. You're welcome back to Breakfast Extra. We are still on the big report and in Benue State. Now, before the break, we mentioned that Sagir Ibrahim joins us live now alongside Sekpet Michael, the convener of Turan People's Assembly. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Sagir, I'll start with you. And from what you observed in Abande, can you give me a bit of an understanding of what the police presence looks like, and if at all it is meaningful for the daily lives of residents in any way?
Well, in a meaningful way, yes. Good morning, Inam. Good morning, Maz. So we went to the community, a particularly hard-to-reach community. Abande is one of the villages within the Turan ward in Jatuaka in Kwande local government area of Benue State. Now, I really would want to give details about the challenges that we encountered, just to access this community. It's a 3 hours drive into the forest. It is unmanned. It's just a spread of continuous forests with a narrow path for vehicles to manage to ply through. So I'm giving this vivid description so as to understand what a logistical nightmare it would be for responders such as the police, the army, or any of the security forces that would want to go into those communities should there be any form of a breach or an attack. So this is the reason why the need for security presence to be in these areas. But then again, the police deployed yesterday. They were in the community. Officers were present to man the different areas of the community. When we spoke to the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operation at the Benue State Command, DCP Kon Asukwo, he had mentioned that they have indeed been to the location at least 2, 3, 4 times this week, just to ensure that aside the fact that officers are within the community, they still carry out routine sweeping through these communities, because like I mentioned, it's a very vast space. It is large, and I mean I'm sure you saw from the visuals the amount of forest that surrounds Abande village. But interestingly, Abande is not even the only village or the only settlement that's within that forest. On our way, we had to take a quick stop at around Anwase village, another village that was on the news yesterday because of a reported attack in that community in broad daylight in the afternoon. It was mentioned that the market in the community, Anwase village, was also burnt. I bring it to your attention that we were within the vicinity when that was happening, because around the time that we got to that location, residents had reported to the police that they had heard 2 gunshots at 2 different locations within that particular village. This had caused for a bit of detour on our part because of the fact that we were going all the way to Abande village. The police first of all had to do a quick sweep of the area before they proceeded. We didn't see any bandits as at the time. We proceeded to the village, and of course the Nigerian army were on ground as at the time we were returning to ensure for an effective sweeping of that area. But then this brings to fore just how volatile these areas are, the vastness of this space, and the need for security presence in that area. Upon getting to Abande village and of course speaking with residents of the community, they heaved a sigh of relief, honestly, to the fact that they have more security personnel on the ground. But some of what they were saying is that just being present in the village is not enough for them. It's one thing to be in the village to prevent attacks on the village, but it's another thing to be on the fringes of the village to ensure that any activity that's going on around the borders of the village will be checked, so as to prevent an escalation, whatever the case may be. When we also spoke to the chairman, he had expressed the same frustration. The land is vast. These non-state actors operate in quite a coordinated skill. He had described a situation where you would see them come in their numbers, then they would divide themselves into small groups and take different parts, different routes within the same forest to carry out a simultaneous attack. So you have a challenge when the forces are trying to repel from this part. You have a situation where another group is attacking from another part, which brings to fore the challenges that it would take to address issues such as this.
All right, Sagir. So sorry, Sagir, but Sagir, we also have Secretary Michael here, and I want to ask him specific questions regarding what is actually pushing these attacks. What's at the bottom of it? It's not a religious thing, we don't think. What exactly is driving the attacks? Do you know, Secretary?
Yeah, good morning, News Central. Thank you very much. To answer that thing directly, I don't think we are having anything less of religious and land grabbing. We are talking about herdsmen which are predominantly Muslim. We are talking about herdsmen who hire these other religious extremists to come in full force and attack a community that is predominantly Christian. So if people who are belonging to a particular religion, but like the Muslim, and are hiring the same religious extremity or Islamic extremity to come and attack, we can equate that to a religion or maybe a genocide. I'm just trying to use this word very carefully. But if a particular set of people who are predominantly Muslim are attacking a community that is predominantly Muslim, I think that should be equated or that should be interpreted as religion or a religious crisis. So these people, as I said, they belong to a particular group that is Muslim, and they are hiring Islamic extremists to come in full force in numbers to attack a community that is predominantly Christian. That can be interpreted as
all right then. I wanted to know, when these bandits come in and attack these villages, what do they leave with? Do they leave with kidnapped victims? And when they do, is it a case where they're asking for ransom for these individuals? Or do they just simply come, burn, and leave?
Well, that is another thing entirely. These people come. Their mission is, some of them have kettles, some of them come without kettles, some of them come in form of grazing the land. So when they spoil our farm produce, our crops, and we try to give a kind of complaint or maybe any explanation, they will now go and hire the other people to come and attack. So in the other way, they are attacking because of our land they want to graze. In the other way, they are just killing people for no reason other than being that their Islamic agenda. So just to paint the picture very clear, and their hideout, we have a border here that is having to do with the Cameroon, and they're having to do with Kashimbila. Kashimbila is a settlement in Taraba State where they settle and then carry out this thing. It is one thing for them to attack for land. It is one thing for them just to attack just because people are living there and they don't want them to live there, or they don't want them. In fact, they just want to kill. They just want to sack the community and occupy. We are talking about a vast area of land. So even just because of grazing, what they have occupied already is enough for them to graze thousands of head of cattle. So it is very difficult to now understand whether or not these people are coming for land grazing. It is difficult to understand whether they are coming for either Islamic agenda or any of the religious agenda they might put forward. It is now very difficult to understand the two things. The land is enough for them to graze. It is enough for farmers to farm. If there is any mutual understanding, this issue of killings, displacement, sacking of communities, and then now occupying it wouldn't have been existent. It is very difficult to. These people have an agenda, which is to sack and occupy our land.
Okay, then. Well, thank you, Sekwe. Sagir, let me come to you. We've heard what Sekwe has just said. First of all, there's a bit of confusion about exactly what the aim of these attackers are. Is it land grab? Definitely not religious. But Sagir, what are the people of Abande asking now, and the surrounding communities? What are they asking for now? Are they asking for increased security presence? And how is this going to, and how constant are these security presence going to be? And have the authorities also said that they would be giving these security presence?
Okay, Maz, I think I would start this way. So for every Nigerian, I think there are just about 5 basic demands that an average Nigerian, wants from the government. It goes around security, constant or stable power supply, healthcare facilities, adequate, proper healthcare facilities to be able to, cater for their health needs. There is also the issue of school among a variety of, which makes around 5 of them. Now, for the residents of Abande community, first off, going into the community, we had passed around 2 or 3 schools, primary schools particularly, and we saw the state of the schools. It pushed me to tears because the schools were dilapidated, they were in terrible shape. Now, I was sad not just because of the fact that children will not be able to attend school, as a result of what's been going on around these areas, but also because of the fact that even if some efforts were made to put these schools in shape, it's still not going to change anything because of how insecure these environments are. We passed a lot of empty houses, deserted areas. Mind you, this is an agrarian community. Benue is known in Nigeria to be the headquarters of the food basket of the nation. The food basket of the nation. And many farming communities around the state are facing these same challenges. So it means that if there's no provision of security, farming communities such as Abande, such as Anwasi, such as Jatuaka and Bachon village, such as the many others that have been attacked, will have their residents flee. Farmers who ought to have been in the farm, farming to ensure that Nigeria's food need is met, are currently displaced and out in the communities because they just cannot stay in the villages due to the activities of non-state actors. The demands remain one thing particularly: provide us security. If you provide us security, then we have cause to continue continue to do our activities, carry out our agrarian activities, without really bothering what the government is doing or which person is campaigning for what to become what. We just want to be able to go to farms, farm our produces, take it to a market that is available within our community for us to meet willing buyers, sell this produce and go on with our lives. But it's even looking right now that that itself is becoming a huge challenge for the government to provide. I go to another issue. You have the cases of police officers trying to respond. How do security forces respond swiftly when you have terrain such as the one leading to Abande? The road is in terrible shape. In order for these guys to respond, they have to go in with heavy equipment and artillery. Mind you, they are armed, their equipment are heavy. How do they traverse all of these roads if the road is in the state that it's in? This provides another challenge. There's also the issue of adequate security to deploy to these areas. Yes, I know. When I asked the Deputy Commissioner of Police yesterday how many police officers were deployed to the area, he mentioned to me that for security reasons he wasn't going to give a figure. That's all right, that's okay. But we all know the concern with the paucity, the lack of adequate policemen in the country to man areas such as this that's been having security breaches and all of that. If you put all of this combined together, it really paints a sad situation, and which the government really has to do something about to prevent the continuation of all of these issues. Because like I mentioned, Benue is the food basket of the nation. If this continues unabated for whatever reason that it is, one consequence is clear. Nigeria's food production ability will definitely be affected, and many residents of villages, communities within these areas will be displaced from their ancestral land with nowhere else to go, increasing the number of internally displaced persons in the country, among many other humanitarian issues. Mazino.
I mean, it's quite clear that, Mazino, what the people in Benue are asking for is not anything new. If you go to the north or any other region, I think the demands and the requests are the same, which is the right to be safe, the right to feel protected in Nigeria. And for communities like Abande, security is not an abstract promise. It is the difference between staying home and running for safety. Until protection becomes proactive in Nigeria, these villages will keep paying the price. This is Breakfast Extra. Mazino.
Oh, thank you very much, Sagir. Sagir, I don't know if you're going to advocate for therapy for reporters who cover the kind of bits that you do, but that's quite a lot to put on one man. And we appreciate your reporting every single time, and also the risk that you take. Shekwe, thank you very much as well for giving us some inside information on how things are happening inside of Benue and the dynamics that happen between the farmers and the herders as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us for our very first big report this morning.